Hi, I'm Carol O'Halloran and welcome to the show. Who cares how old you are? Over 50, so what? Over 60, so what? We often talk about fitness and diet having a major impact on our health and our quality of life. But did you know that there is one thing which has the most impact over everything else? And that is having a positive attitude towards aging. Studies show that people having a positive attitude live on average 7.5 years longer. Today we're going to continue our chat with Victor Perton from the Centre for Optimism. After the break, get on your feet and join in the fitness segment or do it in your chair. And then later, another fun way to keep fit is square dancing. Once you get the bug, you might end up dancing your way all around Australia and overseas. Are you a glass half full kind of person or a glass half empty? It becomes quite challenging in these times to look on the optimistic side of life. Today, we chat again with Victor Perton from the Centre for Optimism. Victor is the author of Optimism, the How and Why, and the Case for Optimism, the Optimist's Voices. So what happens as we age? Some people think your optimism sort of slides away, and as you get older you tend to be more grumpy and complaining and have a more negative outlook on life. Can you comment on this?
Yeah, it's actually the reverse. Young people tend to be positive, but not necessarily optimistic. So that first broken romance, it's like the end of the world, the first job interview and they didn't get the job, the first failed exam at university or school is terrible and traumatic. So as you age, you understand that failure is a natural thing, that tragedy is a natural thing. So the thought is that optimism generally increases till you're in your mid-40s. Something happens at that sort of mid-40 level where people have got to reframe their dreams. I'm 45 and I'm not going to be the CEO of the company. So they reframe their dreams a bit. Then it tends to continue upwards. And then, as you say, that sort of mid-70s, late 70s, where, the hips might be starting to get a bit sore or, the knees, that level of complaint. But then as people grind through that, and you do grind on that bad knee, again, you tend to get that increase in optimism. So for the optimistic people, it almost increases almost lifelong. And the great challenge to us is, can we on our deathbed transmit that optimism to the next generation? My mum died at 92 last year and we had to have a small funeral because of the COVID lockdowns. But, her funeral was a celebration. And we had hundreds of people online and we had an online wake and the like. And so the challenge is, can you in your 90s or even hundreds continue to transmit that optimism? And there's an Italian study looking at 100-year-olds who remain active in community life. What are the two traits, Carol? Purpose and optimism. So sure, 30% of the population are probably entrenched in that whinging and whining and thinking the world is falling apart. But I always like what Steven Pinker, the professor of psychology at Harvard, said. He said, if you can remember the good old days, you've got a bad memory.
I think it's a good mixture of nature and nurture for me, optimism. I seem to have been born with some genes that make me a very hopeful person, as somebody that actually looks to the future with excitement. But also the nurture part of it is that sense of confidence that has come, I think, over time. You can build up optimism over time, a confidence that things can work out.
Now, what can we do to make ourselves more optimistic?
Really just a few habits. My favourite one in the Australian context, Carol, is to change your greeting. So in Australia, how do you normally greet people when you're on the street, Carol?
I introduce myself. I say, I'm Carol, Christmas Carol. So I sort of make them laugh at straight away. So to put, sort of a bright spin on it.
Most people in Australia greet people with a hello, how are you? Or a g'day, how are you? And it's about 90%, 95%. And then 65% of the answers are not bad or not too bad. And we never say, oh my God, what's wrong? We just ignore it. So if you think of the thousands of times you've greeted people, said, how are you? And you've got this nondescript answer, not bad or not too bad. Imagine how many minutes you've wasted. So what I'd like to challenge each of your viewers with is for the next day or two, even the next week, if you can manage it, get rid of the question, how are you? And replace it with something like, what's been the best thing in your day? Now, the first time you do it, people will look at you as if you're speaking to them in Swahili and they don't know Swahili. But 80% of people will then give you a positive. You know, it might be, oh, hard to think about, but I had a beautiful breakfast this morning, or it's a beautiful sunrise this morning. Now, of course, they might then say to you, and what's been the best thing in your day? So you've got to be ready to answer it. But we've done this in controlled environments like prison. The other day, I was in a supermarket and I've got a yellow mask which says, what makes you optimistic? And the checkout lady said, what do you do? And I told her, and I said, try this thing. Get rid of how are you and replace it with what's the best thing happening. And she looked a bit doubtful, Carol. And I said, well, let's try it with the people behind us. And there was a lady and her daughter about 10. And I said, well, maybe ask you, what's been the best thing in your day? And the little girl lit up. She said, I got 82 for my test. So she lit up, mum lit up, the people behind lit up, the people in the two queues lit up. The second one, Carol, and you exemplify it, is just smile a bit more. You know, I live in Melbourne, but most of Australia's been the same. We've been locked behind masks and we've lost the habit of smiling at people. And in this audience with the Dalai Lama, when you think of the success of the Dalai Lama, he attributes a large part of it to just saying hello and smiling at everyone. So this is something else I'd like your viewers to try. So just checking in that you're smiling and saying hello to everyone, life will be better. The third one is laugh more. We just got to laugh more. Whenever I do a group session, Carol, we do 30 seconds of laughter yoga, and it's just lovely. The fourth thing I'd really suggest to your viewers is turn down the news. When I was young, you know, in the mid-70s, the statistics show that the news was 50-50 good, bad. Today, it's 95% bad. Listening to the news, you think the world was going to hell. Whereas the world is undeniably better. We're living healthier. We're living more peacefully. We've solved diseases. We've halved the malaria death rate. The world is getting better. And then the last one I'd share, Carol, and some of your viewers might already be doing it, is a thing called a gratitude journal. So the idea is just at the end of the day, if you're in your nightie or your pajamas, you have a nice little pad by your bed or a piece of paper, and just write down the 3 best things that happened in your day. And it doesn't need to be solving world peace. It could be having a great cup of tea with friends. But the trick with it, and it is said to be more effective than medication for depression and anxiety for most people, the trick with it is to read it first thing in the morning, Carol. Don't wake up to the news on your clock alarm. First input you want is your gratitude from yesterday. And some people will flick back, and it actually is the great basis for a book. That's 5 things. We've actually got 20 habits of the Optimist. There's a free online course there that we run out to the British government. It's animated, it's fun. You get a certificate of the habits of an optimist at the end.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm sure the viewers have got lots of good take-home things they can do. We have challenged the viewers before to laugh in the shower in the morning, just as part of the laughter yoga thing. When you have a shower in the morning, we did challenge them to do that.
Well, do you want to try and do it now, Carol?
Sure.
Let's do it. All right, so viewers, if you've got someone else in the room, look at them rather than us. We're going to breathe in twice, and then the third breath, we are just going to laugh hysterically, and Carol and I will lead you in that. So let's breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Oh, and viewers, you can see it's aerobic. My face has turned red from the blood flushing through. Carol's flushed as well. So whether you do that under the shower or whether you do it in a group, it is fantastic fun.
Okay, everybody, are you ready? On your feet, doesn't matter what you're wearing. Let's do it. Are we ready? On our feet, come on, up you get. Just a nice little groove and shake. Step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. That's it. How easy is this? You feel better already, don't you? let's check the floor, make sure there's nothing for you to trip over. And we go. That's it. Just walk around the place. That's it. And step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch. And to the side, toe, heel. So you've got the groove now, you've got it handled. Back to the middle. And you know what's coming next? We're going to do it this way. Yes, we did it! Good stuff! Tonight we're out with the JB Square Wheelers Square Dance Club. They don't just do classes, they get out and they have great fun social activities, and we're going to meet some of the lovely people doing square dancing.
Smile at the corner, other man left to the corner, come back to the partner, do sado, back to back. Men stepping, make a left-hand star, go.
Well, we have here the lovely Lorraine. We were just having a chat just a moment ago. We were. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, you were mentioning how it's just like a family. So, if a person's a new person, what happens when a new person comes along?
Well, we are just like a family, and like a family we have our ups and downs, and new people are so welcome because it's more people to talk to, listen to, hear their stories, and we love getting new people and sharing our activity because we're very passionate about square dancing, and therefore we like to have other people become as passionate as we are. And we find that particularly the men, once we get them in, we've got them for years, but it's hard to get the men started. But once they do, they seem to enjoy the challenge. It's like for them, it's like a mathematical progression sort of thing, whereas the women, we enjoy the music, but the men like the intricacies of the dancing, and they stay with us forever. And then we all become another big family.
And talking about being a family, I believe your father started this off. Tell us what happened there with him.
Well, we came to Australia in 1969, and my mum was looking for something to do, and she saw an advert for square dance, and then she said, well, this is so much fun, all the kids have to come. And we're like, you've got to be kidding, we're not doing this. But we all joined in, and we loved it a lot. I loved it probably more than my siblings, but we can all dance. And we were made very welcome in the club. So I started when I was about 15, and I've been dancing ever since, on and off. So we stop for children, and then we come back and we bring the children with us. Dad started JB's in 1984, I think. He was an engineer, and he loved, again, the intricacies of the dancing, and he wanted to do it himself. So he broke away and he started a club, JB's, which is called after him, Jack Burgess. And he just loved doing all this calling, and he had a very passionate group of people with him.
Track, girls, keep going. Next time you meet the fellas, give her a swing. Try that lady back home again.
So we're into square dancing. I've just had a go myself. That was really, really fun, really, really interesting. And I met this lovely lady called Doona.
Hello, Carol.
Hi, Doona. And Doona has been dancing all around the world doing square dancing. Doona, how many years have you been doing square dancing?
About 15 years.
15 years.
And I did some in college way back 100 years ago.
100 years ago. And tell us about those countries that you've been travelling to dancing.
Wherever there's English, so Canada and America and England, but also where there's large numbers of English-speaking people, Japan, Taiwan, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, so lots of English-speaking people.
And what do you really like about square dancing?
Oh, the fun and the moving to music and the exercise and the travel and the thinking, because you've got to sort of think and you never know what's coming next.
Absolutely. It's good for your brain fitness.
Yes.
And what kind of music do you like the best? Because you can do all different styles of square dancing music.
Don't really care. It's always got this beat of about 120 beats to the minute, and it just keeps it's a good walking pace. It's not running, it's just a good walking pace.
And have you thought about being a caller yourself?
No, you have to think too hard.
And how long do you think you'll keep doing it for?
As long as I can walk. As you can see, it's only walking. It's not jumping or hopping or balancing on one foot. Nobody cares whether you use your left foot or your right foot. But, so you just have to be able to walk.
Right, excellent. And what would you say to someone at home who thinks, oh, that looks like a bit of fun, you know, maybe I should give it a go? What would you say to them?
Oh, come and have a try. We're very friendly. You can do it in lots of different places. It's always in English, and you can just come and give it a try.
So you were telling me it's like the airport landing. All the directions to land a plane are in English.
Yes.
So with square dancing, all the directions are in English.
Well, even if you're in Germany, they would still say square through 4 hands.
Now, if a bloke's sitting at home and he's feeling uncoordinated, but he thinks he wouldn't mind getting out and about on a Saturday night, what would you say to a beginner who's never done square dancing before?
Here we go. 1, 2.
If you can hear the rhythm of the music and you can walk in time with the music, then you can learn to square dance, basically. It's like learning another language because we have all these names for all these movements. Probably will take about 10 months to learn the whole language, and it's fun along the way as well.
And for a while you're a slow learner, and all of a sudden you go, I can do that. So yeah, don't sit at home waiting for it to happen. Get out and make it happen. Come and watch for a while. People don't come here to get a partner, they come here to have a good time with people of the opposite sex.
Yes.
And if you connect with somebody, and it just happens sometimes, whether you try to or not. And that's a bonus, you know, if you meet somebody that's on the same wavelength. But most people there, we've got a lot of single ladies here and a few single guys. And some of them just want to stay single, they just want to come and have a dance. There's nothing wrong with that.
So tell us about how you and Mike met then.
Well, Mike and I have been dancing for a good long years, but he was in another club to me, so we didn't actually meet until maybe 22 odd years ago. And he was running the club and I came along. I just had a marriage breakup, he'd just had a marriage breakup, and we were doing some presentations. My mum said, this is the last time I want to present the Jack Murphy trophy for someone who's done something amazing during the year. And she said, I don't think I can get through this by myself. You need to come and hold my hand. And then afterwards, Mike sidles up and he says, can you wait till after the dance because I want to ask you something.
And so how long do you think you'll keep doing it for?
Look, we've got people in our club. At the moment, the oldest is 87. Not planning on stopping anytime soon. It's too much fun. There's a whole world out there. Square dancing is not about the dancing. It's about the family. It's about meeting people. Come and join us and have as much fun as we do.
First thing I ever did.
It's so much fun. I love it to bits.
Are you feeling bright and optimistic? Be sure to grab those tips for yourself and others on how to stay more optimistic. Grab them from Victor at the Centre for Optimism. Details on our website, carolohalloran.com. Facebook and YouTube, over 50, so what? For square dancing near you, Google square dancing or find details on our website. What are you feeling optimistic about? Ask all your friends and relatives, and what would your answer be? Just by doing 5 minutes of fitness every day will help you to feel better and more hopeful. Daily exercise always works for me. Thanks for watching. I'm Carol. Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50, so what?